taken you quite a while to get into the whole superhero thing.
Yeah.
So why did you choose this movie, this character? What made you say yes?
I just love the sort of obscurity of Mysterio as a character. You know, he's not one of those iconic characters. I mean, he is iconic in a lot of ways, but he's not really known about within the Marvel comics as much unless, you know, you read a lot of them. And I like that it gave me an opportunity to do something different with him as a result of that. You didn't have to stick to the, like, scripture of other characters that other people do. And that meant I could make choices that were different. And in a big choice that was different is that he's actually superhero and helping Peter Parker in this movie. So I loved that. I also loved what had been written for him. There are kind of amazing things in this movie that I can't wait for people to see. And I loved his sense of humor. And I love that suit. The suit was really cool. I was a little worried about the fishbowl helmet. Luckily, I didn't wear it ever. It was done after the fact. But the suit itself is so cool.
It looked pretty cool to me.
Yeah.
So joining a cast that have worked together, like the young guys, I've just been chatting to them. They're so cool. And I was saying to them, you join in. You know, obviously you're an idol to those young people.
Not anymore. Not after working with me. Yeah, joining them was lovely. I mean, Tom and I, who do most of the work together in the movie, is a great human being. And I don't know, he's a mix of a sort of fully committed, overly physical, which I mean, his physicality is incredible, sort of obsessed with his craft in a way that I really love, and really humble and kind, and really listens very intensely in a way that I could say I know a majority of his peers don't have like half of those things within their arsenal. And then also just being with a group of people who have worked together, it's an awkward beginning. You know, I love Jacob and Zendaya, but I don't actually really work with them that much in the movie. I think they're all so talented. But getting into that world took me a second. And I loved the tone of the first movie as an audience member, as a fan of the movies, to get into it and try and figure it out. Like, thank God Tom was there because he really helped me out.
Well, he did say he helped you out on that first day when you were thrown in the deep end. Your lines
Yes.
were changed, your suit didn't work, Sam Jackson's there. I mean, tell me about that first day.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't my actual first day. My first day was the first scene in the movie where I arrive. You see in the trailer when I, arrive and throw out those green lasers from my hands. That was quite intimidating. But the day that Tom's talking about, the way in which a Marvel movie is made is very different from the way I've seen a lot of movies being made. You can shoot and then come back, and there are pieces that are done, and there are lines that are changing constantly. And I walked off set sort of in a daze, and really he was like, that's sort of the initial Marvel look on almost everybody's face. Anybody who cares, And basically it was just a reassurance that it was the way it was supposed to be, which was so great to come from him.
Great stuff. So the whole thing with this story is Peter Parker, he wants a break. He doesn't want to be Spider-Man for a while. He wants to be with his mates. But when you're Spider-Man, you can't switch off.
Yeah.
And it got me thinking about fame. When you're famous, you can't really switch off. And I had a really interesting conversation with Samuel about people taking selfies, he's Sam Jackson. Do you get the same as well? Kind of, you're Jake Gyllenhaal.
We live in a world where I feel like everybody gets that all the time now. And what I think is interesting is like, there is this sort of constant search for attention through the internet and all from everybody. Doesn't matter whether people know who you are, they don't. Seems to be that everyone wants to know what everybody's doing, and everybody wants everyone to know what they're doing. And there are a lot of ramifications for that, both, emotional and psychological for people who, are just having their discovery of that, oh, this person liked this, or they didn't like that, or that kind of like weird turmoil that people have, whether they admit to it or not. That's a little bit what it feels like generally when you're in the public eye and people know who you are.